Alrighty, boys. Today is gonna be a big episode. Day 24, I believe, of making our own TD game. Now, why is today gonna be a big episode? Well, today we are gonna be getting this hotbar, hopefully, to work. So basically, what do I mean by that? Well, right now, obviously, we have the hotbar, but it's not functional. So we want it so that way we can go into our units tab, open up our little inventory, right? See all of our cool units, and we're like, hey, I want to select this rifleman guy, or whatever one you want to actually select. Obviously that's going to be up to you, but in this case right now, if I click it, it's not going to do anything. And eventually at some point I want it so that way, like, when you hover over a unit, it'll tell you like what it is and what it does and stuff like that. And then of course I did in off camera, I added this little sell button here. Really nothing too complicated about that. It took me like 2 minutes to add that, so just something that I added and wanted to show you guys. And we're probably gonna have like our sign button over here or something like that, or like equip all button, and then maybe our sign button off to the right. And yeah, we gotta obviously make that stuff function too, but I really wanted to get these buttons actually working so that way we could get them into the inventory. And obviously that's going to be a very, very good thing for the game because, well, we need that so that way we could actually carry them on over to the game itself, and then hopefully get it to actually all work and link up together. So big episode on our hands here today. Wish me luck. I'm definitely gonna need it, guys. I'm gonna watch No Cap Studios #2 video. Thank you, man, for the series. Let's see if we could have an easier time following this episode for us today. All right, let's get to it. All right, guys, so before we get into equipping the units here, something else that he is actually going to be getting into today is kind of like setting up the teleportation pad and then having that go to the actual like arena. Now, if you guys recall here, we have this already set up, but it's an elevator system, and I already told you guys I don't want an elevator system to be like what we use in our game here. Like, it's cool and all, it works, and I don't know, it's something that I just don't really want. I mean, it's fine, it gets the job done, but once again, guys, I think that we are gonna go ahead and end up removing this whole entire system here. It's cool, it works, but it's going to be time, I think, to move on to something a little teeny tiny bit different, okay? So in order to do that, No Cap's going on, like, he's kind of setting up all like his stuff like individually here. Now, luckily for us, we already have like that whole entire thing already set up, right? So I believe in our other client script here, we have what is this stuff right here? It's something. This is all something, boys. I believe that this has to do with clicking like the exit button and stuff like that, and it has to do with the moving event, which has to do with the elevator. So a lot going on here. I'm not 100, you guys know I'm not actual coder here. I'm learning day by day. We're this is day 24. Not, I was gonna say 40. I'm losing my mind. You see what this does to me? But yeah, so day 24, we're trying our best out here, but we got to set this up so this is actually going to all work. Now, I think I know the way that this is going to go down. Now, this could be totally the wrong setup, but I think it's going to be best for us. So I am going to keep it how the game is right now because at least we do have a functional system, but I'm going to open up our asset manager, go into our places here, guys. And what we're going to do is we are going to name each and every map in here and make a whole new lobby. So how are we going to do that? Well, I don't know if I could copy and paste. It doesn't look like I could do that. So with that being said, we're going to add a new place just like this, right? So we have it here. We're going to rename this to Boot Camp. Actually, it's probably spelled like this. Boot Camp, I don't know. Boot Camp Map, I guess. We'll just call it that. I could say Arena, but I think Boot Camp Map is going to work just fine. And now, in order, I think, to get that to actually, like, work for us here and stuff, let's, maybe go on into our World War II Arena, which is, this is, once again, our main game. So keep that in mind here, right? This is the actual game, like, where you click, where you actually click play, and it'll give you guys this voting screen. Now, remember, we don't want this voting screen to be a thing because we're going to have plenty of maps, guys. And if we have plenty of maps, that is going to be annoying, not what you guys want, and people are going to be voting for like different things. You're going to not get the map you want all the time, and everyone's just going to play the same map over and over. But I have great ideas here, and doing it that way, I think, is the wrong way. So with that being said, unfortunately, we are going to have to revert some of these changes. Obviously, that's going to be one step at a time here because now we are all screwed up with this whole voting system in place, unfortunately. But we'll get it working, guys. I'm not too concerned. We can go back to actually hard coding it per place, and hopefully we could, get back to that old system. But we are going to keep the map voting, but change it to like difficulty voting and something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. But that's going to be something that AI will hopefully help us with. But anyways, right now, the main thing that we got to do is go to view, go to asset manager, go to places. And I believe, oh, sorry, not even. We got to just go to file, go to publish to Roblox. And then I think save it, copy this over, like overwrite to the other thing, right? So publish to Roblox as, and, we're in the World War II TD arena. So cool. But this time, we're going to go in here, and we are going to find Crazy Clip Studios, World War II Lobby. I mean, yes, that's what we want to go to, I guess. And then overwrite or add a new place. So, not add as a new place, but we're going to overwrite the boot camp map, okay? So, overwrite, boom, let's upload that right now. And what is that going to do for us? Well, that is essentially going to move over all the code in order, to actually edit it in the boot camp map place. So let's open up the bootcamp map place. I know it's kind of getting a little confusing, but this is just how it's going to be, right? All right. So with that being said, now what do we have to do? Well, we are going to have to, like I said before, kind of reload all this other stuff. So in our, let's see here, where's it going to be? Server storage, maps. Well, boys, we don't really need to have all this other stuff anymore because the map is just going to straight up load every single time. And we don't have to worry about, which one or, whatever. So guess what? We're just going to put this in the workspace. It's just called Bootcamp. And then these right here, like, we could have that folder there just for now, but I'm just going to delete them because that's just taking up space in the game and that we just don't need it there. Like, I might even end up deleting that folder because we don't need the folder there, guys. It's seriously pointless. There's no point in having it. So now, as you guys can see, though, we have this, and the game's going to bug out. Because once again, none of those maps even exist. Maybe if I didn't click anything, it wouldn't bug out. But we are going to have to go ahead and set all this up in a completely different way now. And I actually haven't been in like this code in a while. So we're going to have to go back on in here and kind of figure these things out one thing at a time. So let's get to it. So in our round script right here, we're going to be kind of going off this like just in our own head and kind of trying to start this. So, once again, guys, seriously, wish me luck because I am most definitely going to need it. Now, this load map variable right here, so round out load map, like these are things that we actually don't really need. So like this local map right here, instead of loading the map, boys, we can literally just set the map to that's fine. That works. That would, actually do what we needed it to do, right? But we don't need to load the map anymore. We could find that function, which is probably somewhere... it could be down here, not in our animations. It's definitely not in there. But how about our game controller? That load map thing could be in here. So let's just kind of go take a look. So load animation. No, we want to find load map. It's going to be here somewhere, right? You would assume. 0 matches, though. Okay, hold on. It's not in here. So where the heck is load map then? Maybe I have it like... Oh, I have it down here, guys. I'm an idiot. It's right here. Boys, it's right here. Literally right here. All right, so cool. That's fine. That's all good and all. But remember, we don't need to do all the... well, the thing is, I don't want to delete the voting and like all that stuff because we are going to have it. It's just we are not going to have it for choosing the map. It's going to be for choosing the difficulty. So with that being said, too, we are also going to need to actually change how this whole entire thing works. Remember, because now, we got to get rid of this whole entire thing with like the toggle voting and everything. This is gonna get very, very, very complicated for your boy here. So I'm seriously gonna need some big old luck on this one. See, like stuff like this here. I could read this a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know 100% sure. Like this is getting very, very complicated. Like I don't know what this votes is, and there's another vote here. Like this was days ago when we've actually done this. So that's kind of, definitely concerning to me. I just want to at least get it to the point, even if we don't do the voting right now, I would like to at least get it to the point where we can at least start each individual map by stepping on each pad. If we could do that by the end of today's video, and then kind of also set up that inventory with the hotbar system, that's probably not going to take long at all because we're just going to follow along no cap. But this stuff here, this is what's going to be a pain for me, guys. So this is where we're going to have to figure stuff out. And then, like, also, you guys see this, right? This get wave function right here. So that's all good and all. This is kind of what controls like what spawns and all that good stuff. But we're gonna have to maybe get another like thing in here too for like health, and actually be able to change the mob's health depending on what difficulty was chosen, because that's also going to be super duper important. But once again, guys, we are literally going to have to figure this all out one step at a time here, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. We're going to do it, and we're going to be hopefully chilling. So local map equals round dot load map. So let's go figure this all out. Load map is all this right here, and this is where the voting for the map. So instead of like load map, maybe we could do like load difficulty, and like this is stuff that we're just gonna do on the top of our head, and if we screw this up, it's totally okay. We just go copy the code from the other game and bring it on over here. Well, not the other game, but the other place. But we could say like local difficulty and then round dot load difficulty or something like that. And then maybe stuff like that will actually get this working properly. Now, we are still going to need that local map up here, but that's just going to equal the workspace. Let's see here. Let's set this up properly. That boot camp. And that's literally it, guys, I think. And I don't know what we would have to do with that. I think we would probably have to do like, I know we used to have it set up, properly, obviously. That might be fine right there. I don't 100% know. But like all this other stuff is stuff that we are gonna have to change. Difficulty, okay, let's see. Oh boy, let's see. Oh man, this is gonna be complicated, guys. Should we just say like, probably not. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I guess we could just go. That just seems like a long word. So, I don't know. I guess it's fine. It doesn't really matter too much. Difficulty, we got that. There's just gonna be so many things in here that we gotta change, guys. Oh no. All right, well, boys, I'm gonna try to figure some of this stuff out, and then we'll go from there, and then we'll see how far we can actually get with this. All right, let's do it. All right, guys. So listen, we made some changes here, but now we gotta do some other stuff, and this other stuff is gonna be pretty important. So right now, we're actually setting up the the UI to make it look how it was supposed to look, if you know what I'm saying. So let's do that next, and this is gonna be pretty simple, nothing too complicated here. Now that I don't really like the color of that, we're gonna make these like nice and bright, and that looks a little too dark to my liking here. So let me just switch that up a little bit. I'm gonna add a new photo here real fast because I personally don't like the way that looks. So happy one, let's do that one. Create, boom, that should be a little bit better, and boom, yeah, there we go. All right, cool. So yeah, that's just what we're gonna do for this. It's not gonna be anything too crazy. I can even show you guys essentially what I'm doing here. So oops, it just went to the wrong screen there. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully it doesn't do that again. There we go. All right, we got the right one. So very simple, guys. Like happy face, so like straight face. Let's see if we can get a nice outline for that. Come on, game. Oh, I need that one right there. Come on, are you really gonna do this to me right now? No, it's pro mode. I don't use pro. Come on, you guys know I'm a cheap guy. I'm very frugal. I don't spend money on stuff that I don't need. Maybe I should get this though. Honestly, it'd probably help me out in the longer run. So looks like I am not finding anything here, but luckily, stuff like this is really not too difficult to make at all. We're just going to get 2 circles and a straight face, maybe even something like that. Nothing too crazy with this. So we can just go to elements, go to all, and let's see here. So we just get out of that real quick, obviously, and then we're just going to go ahead and make 2 little black circles, just like this. We kind of want it like in the middle here, obviously. That way we just, it just looks better that way, you know what I'm saying? So kind of just do something like that. Is it centered? I don't know, and I don't care. As long as we get it looking all right, it'll be okay with me, boys. All right, this is not black, so let's make that black, and then we're going to just kind of make that tone down a little bit, and just kind of go like this a little bit, maybe. Oh, that's looking a little bit too much now, to be honest with you guys. Looking a little bit too much. So we'll just go like this, and then kind of like that, maybe. Is that fine? That's like dead center, so I think that's okay, honestly. And then obviously we're gonna make this bright yellow like that. See, it doesn't have to be anything too crazy here, right? So call that straight. We'll download it, and then we're gonna go back to the game here real quick, just like this. So instead of having this one be named this too, also we're just gonna call this easy, of course. And then instead of having that, we're gonna go ahead, duplicate it. And hopefully we'll be able to fit all this stuff inside of this right here. I mean, that's not really much room. So Wish me luck with that, guys, because we are gonna need it. All right, but anyways, this one's gonna be called medium, of course. And then down here, instead of that image being that, we're gonna add a new image called straight. Boom, boom. Let's just make sure it fits in there properly. And the background is, for some reason, green. Hello? It's green? Why is it green? I changed that color, right? Weird. That's weird, boys. I think that just kind of bugged out on me right there, right? Like, it had to have. What the heck? Hello? That's definitely bugged. You guys literally saw me change that, right? I mean, I'm not losing my mind here, am I? Hello? Canva? Roblox? Is this a me problem? Or is this the game? I mean, come on now. What in the world is going on here? I don't think I'm... Oh, the color. Is that what's the problem? Oh, image color. I don't know why that's even a thing. That shouldn't even been... Whatever. I don't know why it was like that. I don't even know. I didn't even know I could change it like that, but I guess I could. Okay, that's my fault. I get it now. I was a little confused there for a second, guys. I was kind of like, what in the world is going on here? But everything's okay. We're good. We're all chilling. It's all fine. All right, medium, though. Let's make sure we name that. So pretty much this is what we're going to be doing for the next couple things here. Nothing too complicated. And I also added a bunch of the new code, but we got to test it first to see if it works. So let's just stop recording, and then I'll tell you guys if I got it working in like a minute or two. All right, so let me add these next ones. Guys, check this out. No joke. We got it working first try, except one little flaw, but we'll get into that in a minute here. So we changed up a bunch of stuffs. Our event here, it was vote for map, originally, but we changed it to vote for difficulty, so we fixed that. We also had to fix that in the game controller. There was like one line in here that we had to fix that for. It was this one right here. Not too much of a big deal there. Pretty simple, honestly. So other than that, we did all the other stuff here in round, the module script that we have. So in here, you guys will see, I'll just do a quick little scroll through. There's a few things that I definitely changed inside of this. So that is kind of what we've done. Now, the AI only set up 3 difficulties. Of course, we're going to have 4. Keep it kind of, common to, what we all know and expect. We're going to have easy, medium, hard, and nightmare mode. Very simple. You guys know the drill by now. And if you don't vote at all, it's just going to set it to easy mode, but hopefully people will be voting. And on top of all of that, we got ourselves the way that this is actually going to be working. So how does this work? Well, right now it's bugged because it's actually kind of like it's changing how many of the units spawn, which is fine. That's cool. But we want it to change how much HP the humanoids have. So we're going to plug this into the UI right now. I'm just going to show it this. I'm going to even show you guys basically how I'm doing this. Like, I'm not, no, trust me, guys. I'm not the one that's, coming up with all these things in my, I know what has to be done. I just don't know how to do it. So we're just going to show the AI this, right? So I need help. So like with the difficulty affecting the enemy's health, not the amount that spawn. Let's see if we could like get that to work. Perfect. If you want difficulty to affect enemy health instead of or in addition to the number of enemies spawned, here's how to do it. So you need to allow mob.spawn to take a health multiplier or full health value. Currently you're just calling mob.spawn. Update the mob.spawn function in your mob module to accept an optional health multiplier or override. Okay, so I guess that kind of makes a little bit of sense, right? Nothing too crazy here. In your mob module, do this. All right, well, see, it's asking for our mob module now. So let's go in here and let's just supply the mob module. And by doing that, then it's just going to know kind of like what we have, what we're rocking with, and it's just going to make our life easier and also easier for the AI to understand. Like, AI is only smart if you provide it with the right stuff. Like, if you're just giving it nonsense, then it's not going to know what the heck's going on. So here we go. We share this to make enemy health scale based on difficulty. You'll just need to modify that to accept an additional health multiplier parameter and apply it to the mob's humanoid. Here's how to update your mob.spawn function to support that. Okay, cool. Replace your current mob.spawn function with this version here. So once again, guys, we're not going to go too in-depth in this because, I really can't explain this all to you guys because first of all, I'm not the one doing it. Second of all, I am the one doing it, but AI was the one that just came up with this. But as long as you supply the right stuff and, we implement this and let's say it doesn't work, we come back, we redefine a couple of our questions and, give it some more stuff and we'll figure it out from there. But looks like right here, local humanoid here. So apply health multiplier. This is where we're going to be doing that, guys. So that is going to be humongous for us, guys. That is going to be what exactly is actually fixing this whole entire thing for us. So let's go back into the mob thing here. And I believe that was just with the mob.spawn function right here. So I believe we're just going to copy this and then paste that all on in here. Yep, exactly. So yeah, literally this is exactly what we added right here. And you can tell I used AI for this because it's kind of doing the same exact, pseudocode here, right? So cool though. We got that all set up. Perfect. And then now we're going to go back to the game controller here. So, with that being said, we're gonna just copy not the game controller, the round controller here, right? So this is what sets up the rounds, and it's actually gonna process the fact that we have a difficulty and we want to have certain things going, right? So with that being said, oops, I keep clicking the wrong thing, guys, sorry about that. Let's go back to this and we're gonna go from there. Also, let's close that other thing out. I was looking up German soldiers there to have ideas for more units. Hopefully people hopefully YouTube doesn't get mad at me for that if they saw that at the bottom of the screen. But anyways, let's see here, guys. We're gonna supply. Okay, actually, before I supply this real quick, what I'm just gonna say is I made that. Okay, hold on. Let's just get rid of all that. Okay, so I added the change to my mob module script. Now I'm going to show you my round script, and please help me modify that. All right, cool. And then we're just gonna post that. Should say, just do that, and then it'll help us again. So let's see. Your round script is solid, and now you want the difficulty to affect enemy health, not the number spawned. Actually, well, we could do it in addition to. We should maybe even say. It looks like it already. That's honestly fine. Actually, it would probably be better off this way to just scale it upon like this, because then otherwise, if you guys recall, TTD used to lag a lot. Probably this is why. So let's not get a little too crazy with that, if you guys know what I'm saying. Let's just kind of keep it kind of simple. So change your round.getWave to pass the multiplier as an extra argument to mob.spawn. Multiplier right here, you guys see that's the change right there. So let's see, note to remove the multiplier from quantity calculation so the number of enemies stay consistent. Multiplier is now passed. Okay, so what's that for? Get wave. All right, so we're just going to go in there and do that real quick, and then we'll test if it's working, guys. Alrighty, guys, so we changed up a few things here in our in our round script again. So like I said, we added those things from, ChatGPT there. We got this new round.getWave function, and the reason that it's working now is because we have this multiplier thing that's passed through as well, which is, kind of what changes the humanoid health. So depending on the difficulty, which we have set here, we can always add more. That ain't hard. We could add in our difficulty whenever the heck we want. Now, super easy. And we could even, revert it, or just in addition to, we could add in, like, whatever that math seal thing was that was increasing the amount that actually spawned too. So we could just do like a whole new local, function. Just call it local. This could be called local health multiplier. And we could also call local spawn multiplier, something like that. And then it would be the same thing, right? As before. But right now, I think that most games just do it this way. And also it'll be less spam and make the game, I feel like, hopefully run better, right? But anyways, we have that on top of the spawn function. Is it here? No, it's actually in here, I think, right? Yeah, it's this right here. So this is the mob.spawn function here, and it's going to receive that health multiplier. So just as like a heads up here, we also added that, and that's extremely important because here's where we get that, and that's also another thing that is kind of receiving that, the last thing from the other script, and then it's kind of making sure that we account for how much that health multiplier should actually be. So with all that nonsense out of the way, you guys don't care. You guys just care if it works. Let's go into here. We'll see. So easy. This should theoretically just be 50 HP as it's currently set. Now, once again, guys, the balancing for the enemies is not set in stone. Like, that could change. That could even change when we're streaming the game and you guys be like, yo, this is a little bit ridiculous and these units suck, right? Like, we could just change stuff on the fly, I made this whole entire game, guys. I know how to do that. Like, I could do that pretty easily, right? Not hard. But anyways, the German gunner here, 50 HP. That's the one I was mainly talking about because I know that he's just the one that spawns all the time. So we'll check his health in the next one here. So this time, we're going to multiply that by 2.5 because we're going to pick Nightmare Mode. So Nightmare Mode, we'll get the 1 vote here. And then this right here should say, pop up, info.message. It'll say like, hey, Nightmare Mode was selected or something. So let's just make sure it says that. Select the difficulty, Nightmare, sick. So we got Nightmare Mode. And then now, that first German gunner should pop out with what, 125 HP? Come on. Please work. 125 HP, boys. What a crazy honestly thing that we got going here, because That is so shocking to me that I actually got this working. And like, you know, once again, I mean, I know I'm no like, you know, hero here. I'm not the one that just coded and sat here for an hour. But listen, I just did that in about 15 minutes, just with me, AI, and a little bit of like good, you know, questions, I guess. And we got that working. So like, hey, that's got to mean something. And keep in mind, I did, you know, I'm the one that also set up the new voting screens here for the difficulty, right? So I did that. But other than that, I mean, come on, boys. That was all me right there, right? Come on, you gotta give me some credit for that one. So listen, this is huge. This is massive. Why is this massive? Because, boys, guess what? Now, all we gotta do is do this 2 more times, right? But that's not a big deal, because look at this is what we're gonna do. The same thing we did at the start of the video. We're gonna go, number 1, click save to Roblox, obviously. Now, with that being saved, I probably shouldn't have actually deleted all those other maps in here. It's fine, I could go grab them from a different place. It's not a big deal. But anyways, what we're gonna do is we are going to think first. We're gonna think first. Asset manager, places. Let's open this up. So we got the boot camp map. We're gonna add a new place. We're gonna call that new place, rename, Arden's Forest. I think doesn't probably matter too much. Arden's Forest map, and add new place. This one's gonna be called North Africa map. Cool. And then anytime we add a new map, instead of having this one central thing that Gnome Code set up, now we have a better system where we could hop on individual pads, which NoCap is hopefully going to teach us here today, which I actually probably just do that on my own too right now at this point. You know, actually I could just go do it, just take out the elevator part, right? And just do what we have, like the normal functions or whatever. But regardless, with this and the way we have this set up now, what we could do and what we have to do still is we are still currently in the bootcamp map right now, right? So we got to go into here, publish to Roblox as, go into my games, and go into the World War II. Not added as a new place, but in the Ardennes Forest, we're going to overwrite that, okay? And then we're also going to overwrite it in the other place too. So file, push to Roblox as, go back in here, and then North African too. And the reason for that is, you know, this way we could go get this, all this code. It's just going to be copied right on over there. And we are going to be able to grab it and do some copy and pasting. So I'm going to go do that. And then I'm going to meet you guys probably back when we're setting up the new teleport pads, or maybe when they're even done. And I'll meet you guys there. All right, guys, it's 2:10 a.m. Listen, the day's getting kind of late right now. It's kind of coming to an end here. Day 24 was, however, a great day. I do want to show you guys a thing or two before we wrap up the day. Now, I know we didn't get to actually teleporting on and, like, you know, to like the other maps and stuff, but I want to show you the maps, and I also want to show you this little bit of UI that I made here. So this is pretty simple. It's just a nice little, you know, like when you're like on the pad, you're ready to teleport, it'll tell you the map you're going to, the start time, how many players you have, and the auto start button, right? So pretty simple, nothing too crazy to that. It's pretty much what NoCap is making in his videos, so I just kind of changed a few things, a little bit like the border and the other stuff as well. So pretty simple, pretty basic. We'll get that working hopefully soon. But what I do want to say, guys, is I have a really good idea. I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous video. I might have said it in the last video, but like I would love to have, like, you know, pretend this tunnel's back where it originally was, and this tunnel takes you to like over here, and there's like a bunch of army trucks or something lined up, kind of like we need to have some sort of like get ready, like play area. I guess that's just the best way to put it. We just need to have a play area, because as though I like this lobby for now, but like I said, probably in the future we might end up changing it. I don't really know, but like, you know, right now I just don't know still to this point where I'm gonna put these spawn areas. Now I could, of course, just have the trucks like right here ready to go. That would work for now, but eventually, like, we're gonna have a lot of maps in this game, and that's gonna become a little bit of a problem, right? Because like this game, I want this game to have a little bit of like a teaching aspect to it too. Like I want to have like a like I don't know, like a book in the game where like you open it up and like every time you beat like one of the maps, it'll give you like a rundown of like what the map, you know, what the battle there was or something like that. Like boot camp, be like, hey, you know, we had boot camps here, there, this, like, or like whatever. If it was like a specific boot camp, it'd be like, you know, tell you about that boot camp, stuff like that. Like I want the game to be like that, and people will actually learn stuff from the game. I think that would be pretty neat. But for right now, once again, we just got to get the game working and stuff like that. That'll come later on. But yeah, this is good UI right here. I'm definitely liking the way. This is just called the teleport frame. So that'll be when you get into the truck. Now, what we could do, though, is when you get into the truck, we could actually, like, I know that in John Roblox's game, he gets into, like, tanks. Kind of like, they're like, you know, modern tanks, right? But in this game, you know, we could, like, go to the teleport area. You hit the teleportation pad, right? But instead of going into a tank, you go into like an army transport vehicle. That would be so sick, right? And then you're just locked in there. And obviously, if you want to leave, you'll just click not this X button per se, because this is not going to be where it is. This is obviously in the wrong spot. We'll have to move that potentially to the other UI that we just made, right? We can move it there. Not a big deal. But I just think that would be pretty cool. And it would be like a good way to like kind of show you like how you're gonna get to the battlefield, right? I don't know. Personally, I think that's a good idea. I think it would look pretty neat. Or we could even have an airfield, and you kind of be like a paratrooper. That'd be cool. Hop into like a plane, maybe. Ideas, boys. A plane would be pretty neat, actually. And I'm just thinking about it now. We would have to have like an old school type airport, but I don't know like how the plane would work. And you know, it could obviously just be like a big OG, you know, go to the B-52 bomber plane. You just kind of hop in the back of it, and then you just get going. Dude, that might work. Actually, I mean, just as well as like as the other thing would. That might be really good. This will lead you to the airfield, the play area. Just, you know, have a big airfield over here or something like that. I don't know. That might be really cool. Or like I said, or this just teleports you to the actual airfield, which you guys can't see right now. But we could have, well, we don't have one yet. You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean? We could definitely set that up. That'd be pretty neat. But yeah, that's kind of my idea. But we're not going to get there today because I do want to do a little stream tonight for you guys. So if anyone wants to tune into that, you know, hopefully you guys will. But we're going to do that in a little bit because, like I said, it's already 2:14 and I want to get streaming here soon. And in case we do end up playing some Among Us, we can play that. Not hopefully too late because I actually have a dentist appointment at like 10 a.m. tomorrow. So that'll be a bad day for me if I have to wake up in like 4 hours and get 4 hours of sleep. It's going to be rough. But we're doing it for you guys. However, that's that. I do want to show you before I get off here and wrap up this day 24 episode because, I mean, guys, today was a success for sure. You know, we didn't get everything set up completely. We'll actually make those teleport pads functional tomorrow. But I already have the pads because I have the elevator. So I just got to remove the elevator feature. We already have the box. We just kind of shrink the box and, you know, go from there. Nothing too crazy with that. Anyways, let's, you know, close that out right now real quick because I want to show you guys the maps that I made. So it doesn't look like I can see the maps right now, which is obviously a problem. So let me just save this. I'm going to close this and just open Studio back up here real fast because they obviously weren't there because probably you have to close and reopen it. Hopefully, because I just made all those cool maps for you guys. I just want to show you what they are all looking like. Now, I did think of one potential issue with the way that we are doing this, which for right now, it's fine because we only have 3 maps. In the future, if we had like 30 maps or something, it would be a little bit ridiculous. But we don't have 30 maps right now. We only have 3, so it's fine. But if I ever add new units to the game, I'm going to always have to go into each and every map and then like duplicate that and like actually add them in or add the enemies in. But that's fine. Honestly, that's completely fine, guys. I'm not too concerned about that. Not a big deal. But what I will say is I want to show you guys these maps before I go. The boot camp map hasn't changed at all. That looks like how it was. It's fine. It looks good. But these ones here, check this out, boys. Check this out. So this is actually the snowy map, Arden's Forest, right? This is a cool one. So let's just pick nightmare mode. Doesn't matter what mode we pick right now, obviously, but just for the sake of this video, let's do that. And I should probably get the music playing like in the voting screen. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but anyways, did you guys notice anything different? What do you guys notice about this map? Leave a comment right now. Leave a comment. What do you guys notice that's different than the boot camp map? And it seriously adds to the map a ton. We had this like this a while back. I told you guys I wanted to change it. And we're actually implementing the way I wanted to change it, like doing it this way. So what do you guys notice? The sky. It looks like it's snowing. Now, if I actually added snow effects too, that would be so sick. Which I'm sure we could. It's probably not too complicated. But yeah, that looks a lot better, right? Now, same thing if I go into places and go to the North African map. Check this out, boys. Look at this. Same thing. Well, once it loads. Now, let's just start this up. We're also going to do a little test here. Let's just not pick a difficulty. And let's just make sure that it defaults to easy mode real quick. I just I'd like to know that real fast just so we, we can be certain of that. But any second now, and boom. Boom. Perfect, guys. Look at that. Nice little, like, desert skybox type vibe. Kind of looks like Mars a little bit. But you guys get the point. I think it's pretty good. I'd like it. Definitely gives that, bright orange, bright yellow vibe. And kind of fits in more so with a desert-styled map. I think it looks good. And obviously, it did default to easy mode because these enemies only have 50 HP. Once again, ignore that for right now because we may in the future end up changing the HPs, of guys and of our units because our units aren't even calculated right now properly. They just have, if I upgrade it, there's no changes right now. There will be, these upgrades are working. It's just that there's no values for the upgraded units. So keep that in mind. But yeah, guys, that's where we're going to wrap up episode 24. Great episode. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, help your boy out. Hit that subscribe button. Share this video. Listen, if you're an actual fan here, you made it this far in the video. Of course you are. Share this with some friends. Tell them to get excited for this game. Go give the game a favorite. It's just called World War II Tower Defense, I think. So come check it out, guys. I'd appreciate that a ton. Just go to Crazy Clip Studios. It might be in there. It might not be. I don't know how that works. So hopefully you guys can see it. If you can't, well, I'll let you know when I obviously drop the game. Just follow along the series. Turn the notification bell on. I pretty much post these videos every day. So I hope you guys have been enjoying them. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Day 25 tomorrow. I'll see you there. Adios.